So I understand, and listen,
I'm looking at 3 dead cops this week,
Sheriff,
and I'm looking at 5 last year. You trying to tell me to keep it down?
If you will just please, we can keep it civil. So, because the message to people at home, I'm sure you want, is one of civility.
I wish, Don, I wish you had that message of civility
to have a conversation
toward this
with you.
Hateful ideology, these purveyors of hate.
You don't know what my message is.
That's
what I want to say
do.
to you is,
these people preach vile and virtue
we'll be right
in the
back.
name
We're
of
going to go to break,
hate.
and we'll be right back. Are you going to let me talk before you feel it? Back now live with Sheriff David Clarke of Milwaukee County, Wisconsin, and we're here live in Cleveland. You're set to speak tomorrow night, and again, all I want to do is have a conversation. I can't have a conversation with you if we're both talking at the same time. What it sounds like to me is that you're accusing me of violence and supporting a narrative that I'm not necessarily in support of. And if that's what you're accusing me of violence, then you can leave. That's not true. I don't support violence of any type against police officers, against anyone. So if you're accusing me of that, then you're welcome to leave. But if you want to have a conversation, I am more than willing to welcome a conversation with you. I don't disagree with you about there is a narrative across the country that could be harming police officers. But we don't know right now, as someone who's in law enforcement, if that was the actual cause of it. Go ahead.
Let me ask you this. Do we know that generally the American law enforcement officers are racist? Do we know this?
Go on.
I ask a question.
Do I know American general law enforcement are racist? I don't think anyone is accusing. If you're insinuating that people are accusing or saying that law enforcement across this country as a whole are racist, then your assumption is wrong.
First of all, this whole anti-police rhetoric is based on a lie. There is no data, and you know this. There is no data, there is no research that proves any of that nonsense. None.
You'd have to be more specific about what data and what nonsense you're talking about.
That law enforcement officers treat black males different than white males in policing in these urban centers.
There is data that supports
There is not data.
The statistics are staggering. The United States has the highest rate of incarceration of young adults in the world. In Pennsylvania alone, we spend $4.9 million each day on our prison system, which is already operating at 115% capacity. The average cost to incarcerate just one youth is approximately $140,000 per year. That equates to $187 million annually, just to address Pennsylvania's youth offenders. If we can prevent just one high school dropout, we save $388,000. One child from abusing drugs or alcohol, $970,000. One youth from entering the prison system, up to $3.5 million. Prevention is the solution.
The Character Be About It Troopers Teaching Students program was started 4 years ago here in the city of Erie. I've served 20 years with the Pennsylvania State Police, and during my time as a trooper, I've seen the worst of the worst, the good with the good, but nowadays, things are really taking a turn for the worst, and it's not improving. Character Be About It Troopers Teaching Students is a program that I feel and that several educators feel that can make a change in regard to students grades 3 through 8.
I think in police work a lot of times we see kids when it's almost too late for them, or they haven't been raised with certain values and they maybe don't have a good leader, a role model in their family. And so the Character Be About It program offers that. They get to see law enforcement in a different way and establish a relationship with us, not when something bad has happened, not when we're responding to make an arrest or anything like that. It's us in the classroom somewhere where they are in a safe environment already, and then they can see us in a different way and kind of establish that we're maybe not always trying to enforce the law, we're also people.
Kids are so young and impressionable that that's your opportunity to get them before they go down the wrong path and are influenced by a negative. Some of the incidents that we'd respond to, you'd see a 15, 16-year-old kid that has been trained, so to speak, to not respect police officers, and they're just there to arrest you and put you in jail, and they're no good, basically. You get them young, they see you in this positive light that you're in, character traits coming in, you know, showing them videos, having role plays, writing in journals, hanging out, just talking to them about what'd you do this weekend. You know, nobody asks them that sometimes. Nobody cares what they did over the weekend. So you asking that is a great impact on them, just that alone.
And when I first went into the school, I didn't know how I was going to be received. I have a lot of confidence in what I'm doing, whether it's a state trooper or me playing basketball or whatever I was doing. And this was something that I was unsure of, but the students and the interaction that I had with the students from day one and how they received me and how they received this program, they want to know what's right. They want to know, how can I become a better person?
The students in the beginning, when I first arrived, were shy, kind of in a shell, didn't want to talk too much since we were police officers. But I would say the second month, end of the first month, they opened up. Then they started relaying stories from home, different stories from school. And a lot of the character traits that we talked about, they were lacking. And a lot of them didn't know the meanings of some of the character traits, basic character traits, caring, self-regulation. They didn't know the meaning of it or how to act out those character traits.
You know, a lot of kids didn't have the opportunity for someone in their family to show them how to be a man or a woman, that type of thing. Kids these days aren't having any of that discipline, period. So they're going the other way, so they don't even know where to go. They're going this direction. No, that didn't work. Maybe they're into drugs now, try that. They're just looking for somebody to give them direction.
When a home is broken in that way, there may be just some of the values that, you know, come from a traditional family aren't there, and so the kids maybe just aren't getting those types of things in the home environment. And so being able to provide that in a classroom, I think, is a real asset.
We're showing them that direction. Hey, this is how a person of character operates. This program is phenomenal. Listen to what we have to say. It's worked for us. We're not perfect either. We make mistakes and everybody does, but here's your roadmap to being a responsible adult.
My research and the test scores show that at the beginning of the year, scores are in the 50s in regard to the knowledge of these character traits. At the end of the year, those scores are going up to 70 and 75% in regard to the knowledge. So the data shows that character is lacking in the homes, unfortunately, and it's not going to change unless we do something about it now.
The timing of this program is the timing is unbelievable. It's needed right now. With what's going on outside of the classroom, outside of the school, with police officers way there, they're viewed, and these kids see that we're human, and we can talk to, we can be trusted.
This program is something that, if it's not taught, the problems you see in many cities around the country are just going to continue in regard to the perception of law enforcement.
It's a great way to reach kids. They learn to kind of respect you and respect the authority that you have as a police officer, but not in a threatening environment at all.
This 37-week program is essential because it's a preventative program in nature versus reactionary. I have a passion for this program because I know it works. These students need and deserve to have character education. We need your help.